You may have heard about the 2024 European Parliament elections, particularly about the projected victories for hard-right and far-right parties. But do these elections matter for Kosovo and the rest of the Western Balkans? My colleague Avjon Kadriou and I set out to answer this question in our recent explainer. We started by giving an overview of the 7 political groups competing for seats in the European Parliament. Right now, the polls project that the right and far right will pick up a significant number of seats, although it remains to be seen just how many. Our piece looks at how what happens at the parliament and who controls it matters in Kosovo and the Western Balkans. And we do this through 3 main lenses: EU enlargement, migration policy, and climate. So to begin, EU accession, particularly for Kosovo and for Serbia, is tied to the normalization process between the 2 countries. This means that the European Parliament's oversight of the EU's representative for foreign affairs and security policy, and by extension, the EU's High Representative for Kosovo and Serbia dialogue, gives it an important seat in the ongoing discussion. A rise in parliamentarians of far-right backgrounds more typically skeptical of Kosovo, such as Marine Le Pen's National Rally Party in France, could lead to a continuation of the harsher and more antagonistic approach that EU mediators have taken towards Kosovo. On migration policy, the recent Pact on Migration and other trends of EU countries externalizing border procedures impact the region as well. One example of this would be the deal signed last year, in 2023, between Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni and Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama, with a rising tide of anti-immigrant sentiment among EU voters, as evidenced by this projected right-wing upsurge in votes, as well as the increased stigmatization of immigrants and increased emphasis on funding Frontex deployments in the Western Balkans is set to continue. Lastly, on climate, the EU's Green Deal, while it is a topic of frequent political debate and the source of large farmers' protests in EU countries, also impacts Kosovo and the Western Balkans. The Green Deal has been baked into the accession process. This means that Kosovo and its neighbors need to adhere to the Green Plan in order to maintain a chance at joining the EU.